Together with more than 73,000 lay colleagues, inspiring over 900,000 students in 85 countries, and in a world driven by economics, politics and power, brothers are willing to live their lives for Christ through the education of the young, and especially of the poor and needy. A brother is a Christian who belongs to a religious community and who shares the same life and ideals. He serves God and the church, usually by doing some special work, and always by trying to grow more Christ-like. A brother is happy and contented in spite of fatigue, frustration and failures. He is supported in all his endeavors by a caring religious community.
As a LaSalle brother in St. Patrick's School, I teach academic subjects and religion. I'm also the head of department for pupil welfare.
We try to help our students to become a good person. So to do that, we have various activities or programs to help them to develop the different aspect of their person. Like for example, the physical aspect, the intellectual, and then the emotional, social, and the spiritual life.
Yes, I may do everything exactly as a teacher, but I think as a brother, when I stand there, when I stay in front of the classroom, when I talk to teachers, when in the staff room, I think I'm more than a teacher. They know that I am not a mister, but a brother.
So basically, I'm the brother's chief contact with all the schools in Singapore, right? And I answer for that to the brothers.
I put in quite a number of years in this place as a student, as a teacher, as a principal, and of course I'm in charge of the brothers in this place and representing the brothers in whatever matters concerning our school.
I'm doing counseling, particularly student counseling, and engaging their family for the therapy work. And then the other one is I work with youth who got themselves into trouble with the law and are placed on probation. Not only with Catholics or Christians, I work with other religions as well.
In SFI, secondary school, I teach English and religious studies.
So I'm supposed to look after the interests of the LaSallian family in Hong Kong. Some of the other hats include supervisor of this school, LaSalle College, supervisor of LaSalle Primary School, and manager of all our LaSallian schools in Hong Kong.
Besides teaching in schools, colleges and universities, the brothers work in many other ways in the counseling of youth and adults, in the running of learning centers, and in managing boarding homes for the marginalized. You will find brothers wherever there are educational needs. The De La Salle brothers are members of a religious congregation that started in France more than 300 years ago and is called after the man who founded it, John Baptist de La Salle, now a canonized saint. The name he gave to his first community was Brothers of the Christian Schools, which in Latin reads Fratra Scholarum Christianarum, in short FSC. It can also stand for Fools for the Sake of Christ. This is what St. Paul says is the highest wisdom, to appear foolish in the eyes of the world, but rich in the eyes of God. The schools established by the founder were Christian in outlook and catered for the poor who are unable to find a place in the more sophisticated academies of the time. Because of neglect, many of the poor spent their time roaming the streets and for the most part getting into trouble. The poor of De La Salle's time had very little knowledge of their Christian faith, as their parents were too busy earning a livelihood. Hence, De La Salle grouped together a number of men whom he gradually formed first into faithful and zealous teachers and then into a religious community. The spirit of faith and zeal was to be the spirit of their institution. St. John Baptist de La Salle was proclaimed patron of Christian teachers on 15th May 1950. Since you have been made in the image and likeness of God, you are invited to play a special role in life. For this, you have to be open to the call of God, to the promptings of His Holy Spirit. This will help you discover the invitation He makes to you. The brother is a religious in every sense of the word, bound by vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, working in whatever capacity his superiors consider him best fitted. He can always count on the support of his local community of brothers as well as of the institute to which he belongs.
Well, I believe in God. God who is, the loving God. And after I experienced this loving God, I want to share this with others. And I think it's not enough just to tell people that our God is a loving God. It has to be experienced. It has to be felt by others.
Of course, you ask me, did God speak to me? It's not a kind of human speaking, right? It's deep down, a sense of a feeling, right? That you know it's there, but you cannot explain. That's why we call it inner calling.
To be able to see the children grow in their faith, and to kind of develop from one tiny stepping stone to another stepping stone will bring me joy.
So we are brothers for others. Actually, it is very important to me. Brothers for our own self is not secondary. The brothers for others.
In life, people can change for the better if they are given a second chance, and with proper accompaniment.
Some people ask me, brother, can you be lonely here sometimes? There's so few of you down there. I don't think so. There's so much work and no time to be lonely.
I could see myself working also as a lay person, but not as effective if I'm working as a religious brother.
The brotherhood is not a calling in competition with that of the priesthood. There is no question here of arguing which is the higher vocation. The two are entirely different and distinct. No one argues which is the better part of the car, the steering wheel or the motor, since both are essential. So also the priesthood and the brotherhood have their own special functions in the Catholic Church's mission. Each plays a very important part.
Because we dress alike, doesn't really describe how greatly different our callings, our vocation is. For instance, I love the priesthood and I want to encourage priests in their vocation, but I don't feel called to the priesthood.
I became a brother because I love teaching very much. And to me, teaching is not confined within the four corners of the classroom.
Well, I thought about it a lot and I prayed about it, and I felt I wanted to minister to the young, and I remember the many brothers who have taught me before.
Now, why I became a brother is because I want to help. I had experience studying with empty stomach, and it is very hard to study with empty stomach. Poverty was really bad at that time. So I don't want the next generation to experience what I had experienced. And in order for me to do something, I have to be someone who can be an agent for change.
I feel that it is a very complete vocation. I'm not a half priest. I'm a full religious brother, finding fulfillment and happiness in what I am doing.
I think that many a priest today in Singapore had contact with brothers. And somehow or other, I hope we created an environment in school that a child could even consider priesthood as a potential vocation, that the service of God and the giving himself to the service of the church would be really a powerful thing in his education.
I told myself, whether I would be a better priest or a better brother. So eventually I told myself, well, since I like teaching, okay, and since I like helping people, right, since I like to teach religion and also English, and there are no priests in Malaysia who are actually teachers. So that's when I found a pamphlet advertising the LaSalle Brothers. So I called up straight away, and well, here I am.
I have never had any other desire or seen myself in any way inferior to the priesthood. I think their brotherhood is very much needed in the church today, as it was even in the time of St. John Baptist of LaSalle some 300 years ago.
We are privileged, if you like, to be dealing with young people. I think the young people help us as much as we help them. Maybe they keep us young in spirit.
I was a teacher already before I joined the brothers, so my experiences teaching in school also helps me to discern about my vocation. Yeah, so I believe through education I can do a lot to help people, especially people in this area, to improve the standard of living.
I was from St. Patrick's School, and so I saw the brothers, how they care and they love their students, especially those needy students, those who are in need. So that has given me the first call, the initial move to discover the brothers' way of life.
The mission of the De La Salle Brothers is to give a human and Christian education to the young, especially the poor, according to the ministry which the Church has entrusted to it. In fidelity to the call of the Holy Spirit and the charism of their founder, the brothers continue to consecrate themselves to God in order to exercise the apostolic ministry of education.